What's going on, you guys? In this video, I'm going to be taking you through exactly how my coaching student, Cole, was able to generate $113,000 in just 1 month of my mentorship program. In this video, we're going to be taking you guys through week by week exactly what we did in Ads Manager, and also we will be revealing the profits at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned until the end, okay? And if this video gets 200 likes, what Cole and I are going to do is we're going to open it up to a Q&A session with you guys in the next video. So if you guys like the video, and go ahead and drop a question down in the comments right now, and if we hit 200 likes on this video, what we're going to do is we're going to answer all your guys' questions no matter what they are, and that'll be like a little bonus, added bonus for you guys. So if you guys see something in this video week by week that you want us to go more into detail on, leave a question down below, like the video, and we will touch on it in our next video, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video, and we'll break down exactly how Cole was able to hit $113,000 in revenue in just 1 month with my coaching program. Let's go.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Cole Walker. I've been drop shipping for around 6 months now, and at the beginning of July, I actually started to do Connor Chapman's mentorship program. And since then, we've been able to grow my store to do over $110,000 in sales, and $100,000 of those sales were only in the month of July. And so, yeah, we'll just go ahead and go week by week, kind of show you guys what we're doing for ads, what we're doing for my store, and really show you how Connor Chapman's helped me out, and what I've been able to do since I've been part of his mentorship program. Alright, so here's my ads manager for July 1st to July 7th. At the beginning of July, I actually didn't start working with Connor Chapman until around July 5th, I think it was, around July 4th. So July 1st, I had a ton of cold interest targeting ad sets. I wasn't running too many LAAs, and I wasn't running many CBOs at all. So I had quite a bit of single interest $7 ad sets actually, and that's where the majority of my profit was coming from. And so you could see here my ROAS was coming down. I was actually pretty profitable at a 2.6 ROAS on the ads manager, which is going to be a little lower than what the actual number was. So we will go ahead and jump over into order metrics, and July 1st to July 7th, the first week. You can see the revenue was $9,700, ad spend was $3,400, and my net margin was 18% with a profit of $1,700. Nice. And this was not only the first major profitable week that I had, this was actually the first week that I was doing dropshipping full time. So July 1st was actually the first day that, well, July 1st was the day after I quit my job, and this was the day that I started dropshipping full time, and I knew I wanted to start taking it more serious. So once Connor Chapman, got me into his program, we were able to immediately start raising the net margins and profits, and you could see the results right away. This is basically
so yeah, what was your mindset? What was your mindset after the first week? Was it, I mean, once you quit your job, was it pretty stressful the first week, or did you know that you were making money so it wasn't as bad?
Yeah, so the first week I quit, I was actually pretty excited. I knew it was time for me to start doing it full time. I've been dropshipping since February, March, and I didn't have any profitable stores. So once I found this store, and once it became profitable, I knew it was time to take it full time and put a lot more time into it. Because prior to July, I had a full-time job, 9 to 5, and I'd come home at 6 or 7, and I'd have a few hours to work on my store. And now I had the whole day to start working on the store. So it was definitely able to invest more time into it and get better numbers. And then, of course, joining the mentorship program helped a ton too. So
yeah, and you guys, I did want to mention this. Cole was one of my students who, right from the start, Cole asked a bunch of questions. I mean, he basically, and he can tell you this too, he went so in depth of asking questions about my specific strategy, about whether it's stuff about his store in terms of how to optimize the store, whether it's about his ads, what ads he can launch, the specific strategies, why we're doing things. Cole definitely asked why a lot, And that's what like I think set him apart from my other students, where he found success not only on his own initially, but then when we were able to scale his store, as you guys are going to see in weeks 2, 3, and 4, and the full month profit, which we'll show you guys at the end of the video. Basically, he just like accelerated his growth and his learning like tenfold, just because of the amount of questions he was asking me, and like they were good questions, and he was really just like focused on learning. He put in tons of hours of work. So that's something that I wanted to mention too and give you credit for as well, Cole, is like you put in a lot of work. It wasn't easy, and I think that's huge. Your profit is a huge credit to just your work ethic.
Prior to July, I like really had the mindset of doing everything on my own, and I wasn't asking as much questions. I wasn't talking to other people that were doing the same thing as me, that were doing drop shipping and Shopify. And at the end of June, that's when I realized I need to start contacting people and getting in touch with other people that have that are doing exactly what I'm doing, or that have done what I'm trying to do already. And so that's where I started to DM Connor Chapman on Instagram, and I'd ask a few questions here and there, and then eventually, like we're saying, it turned into the mentorship program. So like I said, I think asking questions and getting a mentorship program from someone that has done what you're already trying to do, it helps tremendously. So okay, so this is the second week in July that I was working with Connor Chapman. You could see we actually cut back on the cold targeting ad sets, and we raised the budget a ton on retargeting. That was something Connor taught me, was that you really need to put a lot of budget into retargeting, because if you don't do that, it's basically lost money that you're losing out on. So he always suggested like around 20% of your entire budget should go towards retargeting. So that's what we started to do. We started to really focus on retargeting. We started to do more CBO lookalike audiences, and we also actually started to do a manual bidding campaign, and that was something I had no experience with. He would actually tell me about that in the beginning, and I would kind of be like, all right, that's not something I actually know anything about right now, but it was just something I had to learn, and that ended up crushing it for us. So
and your ROAS increased this week too. It went from 2.6 to 2.76. So even when scaling, your ROAS and your profitability actually increased.
Yeah, so exactly. We increased the ad spend. We increased actually the average order value by $7. And we can look at the ad sets here, but if we go over to order metrics, you can see total revenue for this week was $21,000. The ad spend was just over $7,000, and it was a 22% net margin at $4,500. So really healthy margins. A lot of profit. At this point, this is more money than I've ever made in my entire life in a 7-day span. So I was, pretty happy, to say the least, with the numbers. And we just kept learning. We kept getting on calls and talking. And a big thing that I already kind of mentioned a little bit was the average order value. That was something that I already started to work on in June, but we really focused on that, and you'll see week by week the average order value and the average order profit actually goes up. We've never had a week where it didn't go up or where it went down. So yeah, that's a huge part of the profits that came in.
Yeah, that your average order value was one of the highest I've seen on stores. $58, $60 is extremely high, and I think that's why you were able to find success, quickly with this product, is because your AOV was already, it was already benchmarked at like $50+. So it was, you found a good product, and I think we marketed it the right way, and you were able to keep it consistent, throughout the whole month. So yeah, AOV was really, really high, which is good.
And my product that I'm selling is actually around, it's not selling this low of a price anymore, but when we started in July, it was around $35. And so obviously the average order value is a lot higher than that. So we were doing that with upsells. We were doing that with discounted prices for if you buy multiple items and things like that. So
yeah, need AB, split test pricing, all that stuff.
Yeah, the need AB, split testing, that helped a ton. That was a huge part of like learning different prices that'll work. We've tested, I think we've only really tested pricing right now, but you can test descriptions, photos, a ton of different stuff. and you can get the results right in front of you on a graph and everything. So that helped a ton also. All right, so here is week 3. Week 3 was actually our most profitable week. It was our week with the highest revenue. Not the highest ad spend, but definitely the most profitable. So this week we started to, we continued with the manual bidding campaign. That was very profitable for a few days. It ended up being not profitable and we killed it, but overall we made a lot of money on that one. We continued to launch more lookalike audiences. We really started to only target the US. Prior to working with Carter Chapman, I actually was targeting the US and Australia. It's a lot easier when you just focus down on one country. It's not always the best thing to do, but for the situation we were in, that was a lot easier to do, and we actually started to see a lot better results when we started to really focus down on just the US. At the end of this week, we actually started to run into some cash flow issues. What we'll do is, you could see the ROAS just about for every ad set we were doing, again, was really, really profitable. It was really well.
Right. And your break-even ROAS was like 1.7, is that right? Or 1.6?
Yeah, right around 1.7,
Gotcha.
right around that number. We really started to bump up the budgets for every campaign. You can see there's a $400 budget, $250. Prior to this, I would launch like CBOs at like $100, $150. You know, Connor was saying, hey, you really got to start raising the budgets on these things because everything's performing well. And so that's what we did. And the results came way better than I ever imagined they would be. You can see some of the campaigns we launched here. If we go over to order metrics, I'll show you guys the 16th of July. Now, each day we were doing around $5,000 to $6,000. At one point, I think we had a $6,700 day. But the 16th of July was our most profitable day. So you can see $6,200 revenue with only $2,000 ad spend, which is insane. And it was a net margin of 23% with a $1,400 profit. Now that number is insane because that's more money than I made in 2 weeks at my old job. And I made that in 1 day. So it was
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And if like, say you were to do that, say $1,454, if you were to consistently do that for like 30 days, right? You multiply that by 30, that's $43,000. So I mean, obviously this was a peak. You know, this was a peak of like Cold Store. I wouldn't say it's the peak, but it was a day that, you know, profits your ads were just hitting well. Like look at your ROAS. Your ad spends 2,000 with revenue of 6,200. Like that, a 3 ROAS is insane. Like that is very hard to maintain a 3 ROAS. So it's amazing that you were able to actually even hit that at such a high ad spend.
Yeah, and if we can even go into the next day, if it loads up, and you'll see each day we were doing crazy numbers. I mean, $900 profit. If we go to the next day on the 18th, I don't even remember, but I know, $5,500 with a $400 profit. And the next day, we could look real quick, $6,200 with a $600 profit. I mean, this whole week was absolutely crazy. And if you look at the full week that we did, it's $40,000 revenue with $16,000 ad spend. And it was a 15% net margin, which left me with $5,700 profit, which was insane to me. So it was crazy. Again, average order value $60, $34 profit per order on average. And yeah, this was the best week we had so far. Like I kind of mentioned in the ads manager, at the end of this week, we actually started to run into some cash flow issues. I actually had to go into my personal savings to cover the cost of goods and the ad spend. And the reason I had to do that is because Stripe was holding my payments for up to 7 days. And 7 days prior to this, we weren't doing anywhere. We were doing probably half of these numbers. You know, we were probably doing $4,000 days, maybe $5,000 days. And so I was getting paid less for those days, even though we were raising the numbers here. So we actually had to slow down the ad spend towards the end of the week. And unfortunately, I think that hurt the momentum we had going just a little bit. But overall, this week was very, very profitable. So, okay, so this is week 4, July 22nd to July 31st. We kind of added the last few days of the month in. At the very beginning of this week, actually, on Monday, my ad account on Facebook got deactivated, along with a ton of other people on Facebook. They said it was for security reasons, but it was just a glitch on their part. I think I had around $3,000 in revenue during that day prior to the ad account being shut down. That really hurt the momentum we had going. Not only did my ad account get shut down, my bank account actually was shut down for security reasons also. Two completely separate reasons that just happened to get shut down on the same day. So I remember driving to my bank to talk to my banker, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what other stores can I start opening up? Because in my mind, I was freaking out thinking, all right, my ad account's done, my bank account's closed, which wasn't that big of a deal. I just had to open it. But I was thinking, you know, great, this product's done. You know, I was just overthinking everything. And it took around 12 hours before we were able to get it back up and running. And after that, it took around 2 days to see good results again. I think I was actually profitable each day after the ad account was deactivated, which was pretty surprising. But during this week, we actually launched a few more manual bidding campaigns. None of them worked out. Unfortunately, they weren't profitable and we weren't able to get one running. But that's just the name of the game. And we continue to just launch more lookalike audiences, more CBOs. You know, every day I was launching new ad sets. So at the end of this week, we noticed there started to be some ad fatigue. So up until this point, I've been running multiple ads, but I've had one ad that's probably done around 85 to 90% of my sales, and that ad's been running for almost 2 months now. So we started to notice some ad fatigue. The last 3 days of the month, I think I lost probably $200. But luckily on Sunday, we can go over here and look on the 28th of July. If we just go to this day, you'll see the numbers. I think I profited almost $700. So yeah, so Sunday was a very good day. We had $5,500 revenue, $2,600 ad spend with a $700 profit. Now if we go to the following 3 days, I'll just lump them together. You'll see I had a negative 1% net margin with minus $118. This all came down to, like we said, ad fatigue. The ad account being disabled really kind of hurt the momentum we had going. But it was a lot of unnecessary ad sets that I left running that Connor kind of helped me break down and really like eliminate the bad ad sets that I was running. So we started to be really strict on our ad sets and really looking at the ROAS for each day and the last few days to make sure we weren't doing any unprofitable ad sets. So overall, for this week, it was actually still profitable, 6% at $2,700 profit. We had $4,300 revenue with $43,000 revenue with $23,000 in ad spend. So overall, it was still a very good week and a very good way to end the month, despite having my account deactivated, having my ads not perform as well. It was still a good way to end the month. And you might be wondering, if I ended the month with unprofitable ads, you know, you might be wondering how I'm doing now. Well, if we look at August, we'll go to today. So far today, it's 1:50 p.m. in the afternoon. I've only done $2,000 in revenue, but we have much lower ad spend at $900, and we're still at a $300 profit. To yesterday as well, you can see I was profitable yesterday as well. So this is like something Connor kind of showed me and really told me about, is you're always going to have really good days, but you also have really bad days. There's no such thing as always being completely consistent every single day across the board, because that's not the way Facebook ads work, and that's not the way people interact with Facebook in general, right? When you're dealing with people, it's going to be inconsistent always. So I think it goes to show that just because you have 1 or 2 bad days or a few bad days, it doesn't mean your store is done, and it doesn't mean everything is going down the drain. So yeah, overall, if we look at the whole month, we can go July 1st to July 31st. You know, like we kind of showed you guys, we have $14,000 profit with a 13% net margin. We did $113,000 in revenue, which is insane, with $50,000 in ad spend. In June, I did $20,000 in ad spend, in June I did $20,000 in revenue, and in July I did $113,000 in revenue. And there's no way this would have been possible if I didn't have any help and I didn't, you know, look for a mentor or a mentorship program. And this is where Connor Chapman's program really came in. You could see the numbers increased 5 times what they were the previous month. So it goes to show you having a mentor, you know, really helps, and it really lets you learn a lot faster than you would on your own.
The only way that I was able to bring my dropshipping store and change my life was through mentorship, and that's why I highly recommend it. Clearly, as you guys have seen in this video, the results speak for themselves, right? It's not just me trying to sell you guys mentorship. I think once you guys have seen Cole's profit, right? 13% margin with over $14,000 in profit in a single month. Like, those results speak for themselves, you guys. If you want to change your life, there's nothing stopping you, right? I'm providing you guys with an opportunity to work directly with myself. I have students that absolutely crush it. You know, Cole's not the only student. He obviously is one of my most successful students who is willing to come on the channel, and I thank Cole so much for that. But yeah, $113,000 in 1 month at 13% margins with over $14,000 in profit in the first month. I challenge all of you guys to go out there, look at who you're following, and see if they're putting videos out like this with the amount of value that I've been providing you guys, because I challenge you, most of the mentorships will not go as in depth as my mentorship, because I truly do care about my students. I care about their success. Okay, so for those of you who are interested, my premium mentorship program is now open. It's going to be the first link in the description. I'm only going to be accepting 5 new students, and I'm not just saying that. I really can only accept 5 new students. I already have a current group of students, and I really want to build as many success stories as I can. So it takes a lot of time for me to work with you guys. I love working with you guys, but I want to make sure that each of my students gets my full attention. That's why I only accept a limited amount of students. It's going to be perfect for beginners, intermediate, or advanced. Whatever level you are, I have a program tailored specifically for you. You know, the results speak for themselves. Cole, many of my other testimonials, as you guys will see in the first link in the description, they've been getting great results. They've been changing their lives. Mentorship is really only for people who want to succeed in e-commerce. So click the link to schedule our call. Some details on my mentorship program. There will be weekly one-on-one calls with me via Zoom in the testing phase. Once you guys scale and find your winner, like I did with Cole, we'll have a call actually every single night. So it'll end up being multiple calls per week, which is really, really good for you guys. And that's how you can scale properly in the right way. You'll also get access to lifetime access to my resources, which has Facebook ads, testing, scaling methods, winning products, winning product research methods. We have basically everything in there, from, you know, networking, outsourcing, customer service, VAs, fulfillment, whatever it may be. I have my resources in there for you guys to get lifetime access to that. And then another huge thing which my students love is the daily support via Messenger. So via Facebook Messengers, whatever questions you have throughout the day, you can ask me those questions, and it's really, really helpful for my students. You get access to my team of fully trained VAs, which are amazing. They know how to run Shopify, they know how to fulfill orders, they know how to do AliExpress, Oberlo, Zendesk, whatever it is, they know how to do it. And you also get access to my personal supplier in China, who I've done personally over 15,000 units of my product with. He's great. You also get the ability to work with my email marketing expert, which is great once you're at about $5,000 per day, which now Cole has just implemented on his store. Just to summarize, you guys, my premium mentorship program is open. I did want to say congratulations to Cole. Congratulations on your amazing month. We will keep all of you guys updated on his progress in the next couple videos here. And if you guys are interested in mentorship, now is the time to do so. Take action. I mean, what are you guys waiting for? Like, I don't know how much more I have to show you guys, you know, push you to the next level, right? I provide free value on my YouTube channel with free products. I provide obviously paid value in the form of a mentorship. So it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to stay with the free value, go for it. That's not going to stop. Just because I have a mentorship does not mean that I won't continue to provide free value. So this is just really for those students who are serious and who want to change their lives, and they've been struggling with e-com and they just can't get to that next level. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comments of this video, and let's see if we can get to 200 likes. And for those of you who want to do mentorship with me, I look forward to speaking with you guys very soon. Peace out, guys.